Just 2 days ago, started the baseball season in the United States. The opening game was at the Yankee Stadium. Uh, the New York Yankees just played uh, Milwaukee Brewers from the city of Milwaukee, and they beat that team 4-2. Big celebration. Thousands and thousands of Yankee fans came to the Bronx, which is, that's where the Yankee Stadium is located in New York City, and they celebrated the opening games. Which the opening game is the game that sets the mood of the fan. I mean, of course, looking into it, looking forward to win the World Series, to go to make it to the playoffs, the final, and go all the way to the World Cup in this case, World Series they call it, right? This is in baseball. But for most of the fans at that stadium, just 2 days ago, towards the evening, in which they beat the Milwaukee Brewers 4-2, in their minds were the situation in which one of the beloved, their beloved and most, you know, you know, in their most beloved players, Brett Gardner, whose family is really going through a nightmare just 2,000 miles away in San Jose, Costa Rica. And what's going on in San Jose, in Costa Rica, in Central America, is that uh, Brett Gardner and his family is that his son Miller passed away from uh, the potential cause of death. They were vacationing. They were vacationing in Costa Rica 3 weeks ago, and he just didn't wake up in the morning. He was found dead in his hotel room. I'm talking about the youngest son, Miller. Uh, Brett Gardner, his wife Jessica, they had two sons, Hunter, the oldest son, and Miller, the youngest son, a 14-year-old son. And Miller is the one who passed away. They were vacationing, just like any other family, vacationing at a resort. This could have been the Caribbean, a beautiful resort in Costa Rica at this time. Uh, Brett Gardner and his family never thought that they could go through this nightmare. I mean, just being in their shoes for being a parent myself, it must be a nightmare. His son, their son, passed away, 14-year-old son. How? That's what we're gonna in this video. I'm gonna have a little, uh, uh, chat with you guys. Have a explore how things are working, how things works in Costa Rica in a situation like this, in which they were staying at a five-star hotel in the province of Punta Arenas. Punta Arenas is one of the 7 provinces in Costa Rica, located in the beautiful, Pacific, the Pacific side of Pacific coast of Costa Rica. Uh, this resort, La Playa del Mar, is located nearby the city of, not just 45 minutes away from Quepos, which is one of the main cities of this province. And, and of course, this most of the Pacific area of Costa Rica is there are national parks. What they call national parks are very popular in Costa Rica. Sightseeing, the beauty of nature, all kinds of animals, all kinds of uh, uh, animals, at risk of extinctions, and the beaches and the beautiful, weather, 90-degree weather, which at this time of the year, I mean, in the mainland USA is uh, winter, still winter time. I mean, approaching, springtime, but still in most of mainland USA, it feels like winter time. So this family was vacationing in just 3 weeks ago. Came to Costa Rica for a vacation, a family vacation. That's a routine most American families do. I mean, all over the world they go, especially uh, for the weather. The Caribbean, this could be Central America, South America, Asia, you name it. And what happened was that great Brett Gardner's youngest son, Miller, was found dead at a hotel room at a five-star hotel. Like I said before, the hotel, La Arena del Mar. This is, in that nearby the national park, Manuel Antonio. And The most hotels, five-star hotel in Costa Rica, they have like a concierge um, medical services in which they were called, and right away they attended, this emergency situation in which they found the boy, just 14 years old boy, dead. And a couple of days earlier, they have been through. They just 3 days earlier. I'm talking about here. This situation, this event was March 21st. Three days earlier, they had been through, eating at different restaurants in the vicinity. But those restaurants in which they have visited, they are ruled out that they have anything to do with food poisoning or food intoxication or such or any event that has to do with them. But the medical professional on duty on that hotel, uh, well, he provided the whole family actually got sick. I mean, they fell ill that evening after visiting the area there. So the most likely there was somehow if it's not food poisoning, because this event is still under investigation from the forensic department. Um, but the first aid, the first medical professional in touch with this family was the hotel, the doctor, the medical doctor on duty at the hotel. And he provided, apparently, we're assuming, and that's what the report is saying, that something for stomach ache, something that could help them, because they all felt sick. But the only one passed that didn't make it, I mean, was Miller, the younger 14-year-old uh, you know son of the Gardner's family. And the assumption here is that somehow, if it wasn't a food poisoning, most likely the lead now and the focus of the investigation is that it could have, perhaps it could have been an allergy for some medication, in which, of course, the whole family got some help from the hotel medical doctor, but only one, passed away. In a situation like this, of course, this required a more extensive investigation, and the forensic department of the Costa Rican uh, state, because the forensic department is not run by, like in Western countries like mainland USA, which is run by the city, or in some cases by the county, by the sheriff's office. Of course, there are multiple, agencies involved in, the city agents, the county, even sometimes the state gets involved in this in situation like this. But in Costa Rica, this is run by the government. Like I said before, the forensic department is attached to and is run by the Judicial Office of Investigation, which is the National Police. National Police is part of the uh, executive branch. Executive branch. In Costa Rica, is still there are three branches of government. It's an old democracy in which there are check and balances. The judicial branch is the members of parliament, and the executive branch. And why I'm mentioning all this, these branches of government, because in any case situation, for more a true or a more extensive, wider investigation uh, in the autopsy of this this boy, is going to take months to be complete. And the reason is that, of course, tissue samples, blood testing is going to be done in different labs. I mean, in labs that are run by the government. And there is, of course, in the initial report, the Costa Rican press is going wild, because really there are backlog of 3 months, behind 3 months backlog of autopsies that has been performed. The initial autopsy was done, in which the potential cause of death was that asphyxia. Asphyxia is like, they had something in the throat, but that was the original. That was the initial uh, autopsy report, in which they say, well, they are ruling out now. 2 days later, as the investigation get more deeper and in progress, they had to send, like I said, we got tissue elements of the body and blood testing to find out more, the more with the cells, and the more advanced lab, to really find out what really went on, what was the cause really cause of of death, and that this could take months. And well, the situation is, the drama here is that the Gardner family, I'm talking about the great Brett Gardner and his family. Brett Gardner is a beloved baseball player. I mean, he retired in 2021, but he did play for the New York Yankees for 14 years, and he was part of the All Star game in 2015, as we recall. Those for those baseball fans, and of course, most Costa Ricans don't follow baseball, but and they wouldn't know who Brett Gardner is. They know most likely about Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, other soccer star, but they don't know much about even the Yankees. I don't think they're following Yankees game at all. But Costa Rica is not, really a country in which I would say there are any deficiency or lack of medical professionals or lab. They have high standard of quality of medical services. And what happened in this resort, it could happen anywhere, basically. I mean, it could happen in Miami, it could happen in any of the Caribbean island, at any five-star hotel. But of course, not all five-star hotel can afford to have a medical doctor on duty 24/7. A medical doctor, in this case, right, most likely is not like a with a specialty. These are general practitioners who are hired by the hotel to perform basic medical services at the hotel on duty just in case any emergency comes up. And of course, if that hotel calls 911, the city of Quepos, which is 45 minutes away, it could take some time to somebody to send an ambulance, of course, and come to the rescue to come and perform first aid services. So they, in situation and cases like this, they have a doctor on duty 24/7, most likely. But not every five-star hotel. If you have the Hilton or Marriott Hotel in New York, they don't have a medical professional on duty 24 or licensed medical doctor on duty. That could cost the hotel like $200,000 a year, right? Just for 8 hours of services during the day. And of course, if they need 3 doctors to be there on duty, I mean, at the hotel, that could have over $500,000 just for medical services. So it's not it's not profitable. But in Costa Rica, medical professionals make a little less money. I mean, they make good money for Costa Rican standard. They can make around $50,000 to $60,000 per year, which is good money. I mean, this is a strong middle class country, in which medical doctors are very well respected, and the medical care in Costa Rica is with highest first quality, world class. They have world class medical services. Remember that in Costa Rica, more than 500,000 people come from all over, even from the States, from the United States, from Europe, Canada, for medical tourism. I mean, it's cheaper, the medical services, cheaper the cost, but the standard of quality is very high, just like any other U.S. Or Canadian hospital. They have very high quality standard of medical care. So the issue here is not the medical care of Costa Rica medical system. The issue here is that in this process of the investigation to find out, what really happened to this boy, this 14-year-old boy, the Gardner family are stuck in Costa Rica. The drama is that this family can't go anywhere. I mean, they're stuck in there, waiting for months, most likely, because there is a backlog of autopsies in this, agency, the forensic department of this government agency. So it may take months, and of course the U.S. Embassy can help, right? And the United States Embassy in San Jose could help and give a little hand, give some assistance to have maybe perhaps talk to a higher member of government. I mean, the cabinet. I don't know. I mean, it could be the Foreign Affairs Office in San Jose to speed up the process a little bit, to make pain to less painful, and to make it less, to minimize the pain and the anguish that they are, so the suffering of this family, this poor family. So it's possible. Anything is possible, but it may take a little diplomacy and a little, help from the most likely U.S. Embassy. I mean, to have, to speed up the process a little bit. Of course, to get in front of the line, that may take, perhaps a court order. I mean, like I said before, the check and balance is still working. Costa Rica is very prestigious democracy. This is one of the oldest democracy in the continent, in the American continent. More than 80 years of democracy, which the government works. I mean, uh, democracy works, and they have the judicial branch, executive branch, and the parliament. And they might need a petition, maybe perhaps, at the judicial, branch, petitioning because this is a foreign citizen, that to have an independent autopsy. Then that could how this could have been done. This could be done is that of course the government doesn't want, most likely they don't want to get rid. I mean, get you know give away. I mean, get. I'm not saying they don't want to like make it too easy. They want to have their own autopsy done, their own final autopsy. Perform, like I said before, the tissue samples and the blood testing. And once that it's done, they don't want to be found negligent of any case situation in this investigation, because the prestige of the government is online here. And they have the investigation, but the national police is a prestigious. They have very professional labs, high quality. I mean, world standard equipment to do what they need to do. But the backlog of they have so many people. I mean, so many corpses waiting there in the waiting list for to be performed, that to get in front of the line could take a little more than just a wish, or little more than just a big name like New York Yankees. I mean, and with powerful, influences. I mean, with money. I mean, sometimes money works, but in this case, I don't think there's going to be any arm twisting, with the Costa Rican government to make it, to speed the process. But like I say, in good faith, if there is a petition with the judicial branch, perhaps that can be done. That can be done. It's possible to minimize the suffering of this family, of course. And there are, of course, another way that they could speed up the process is if they ask and petition that the body could be cremated. I mean, could be cremated, and but if there is any, they don't know for sure exactly why the cause of death. So they want to find out that what is if this is an infectious disease or something of sort, right? And then they might have to wait a little longer, because they to transport the body, even to mainland USA. I mean, it's something that they have to have a death certificate at the final stage, and on that death certificate is going to be the cause of death. It happened to me when my brother died, passed away 4 years ago in Mississippi, in rural Mississippi. It took me like 3 months. I mean, 3 weeks to get the whole process done. Of course, the situation is totally different, but it's more in most U.S. cities at this moment. At this year, 2025, there are same thing. 3 months backlog of autopsies that needs to be done, but it takes in most busy cities like Chicago, Miami, New York. I mean, there is a backlog. There's so many events in violent, because of the violence precisely in most cities, in most urban cities. There is the process is slow, not just in Costa Rica or other countries, Latin America, but it's slow, the process even in the United States. So it might take a little patience from this family, and of course, the issue here is not to transport the Gardner family back home. I mean, the Yankee organization is a very much a wealthy, I mean, a franchise with big assets. They can just send a private jet and pick up the family, pick up the body of this poor 14-year-old son. I mean, a healthy boy. I'm a healthy boy, and that's one of the main. They can just pick it, bring them home tonight. I mean, a private jet. But the issue here is not transportation. The issue here is not money. The issue here is that the slow process of the autopsy, of the final autopsy report that is needed to produce a death certificate, and then the rest of the process is easier, of course, to bring the body home to South Carolina. That's where the family lives. I mean, the Brett Gardner family lives in South Carolina. Of course, most likely first going to go to New York, where I mean, the Yankee franchise, the New York Yankees baseball team is very supportive. They have sent the whole support, full 100% support to Brett Gardner and his family. They're stuck in Costa Rica. They're still there, and the process is gonna just continue. The process continue until a final, report is being produced. And of course, like I said, an option is if the body has been cremated, and the ashes, that could be faster, transport, faster movement, faster final report that could, make this family, have this family fly back to mainland USA. And talking about the concierge medical service that went, to help Miller, the boy, the 14-year-old son that passed away in that hotel. This hotel is a five-star hotel, and the concierge medical services, they did their job. Of course, staff members are not allowed to provide any, medication to anybody, any guests staying at the hotel. But the doctor on duty on that hotel, they could have. He was one of his duties to provide, of course, medical services like give medication or laxant or anything for, stomach ache, if that was because the whole family felt ill after having, dinner in some other locality in the nearby, in the vicinity, another good restaurant. This is not that happens every day. And in, food vendors are, street food is very popular in Latin America, Central America, even in Costa Rica. And in most cases, even street vendors are very much inspected by the Costa Rican Health Department. So this is not an issue of negligence. I don't think this is an issue of negligence from any health department, Costa Rican Health Department, or not even the restaurant where they ate, most likely. But we don't have a final, autopsy just to find out what happened. It could have been an allergy from a medication that was given in that hotel that night. We're talking about the night of March the 20th, the 20th. March 21st, the boy was found dead in his bed. The assumption that he died on his sleep, not of, of choking, right? Not of asphyxia, which was the potential initial autopsy that, they were assuming that, but 2 days later they have changed that. As the investigation is in progress, that could change. Things can change rapidly. And of course, it's going to be, they might have to hire lawyers in San Jose, and they're good lawyers that can issue have a petition done at the court. The court system in Costa Rica, they call it Sala Cuarta. That's the court system. The court in San Jose, they're very independent. Any citizen, can have a petition, basically. Of course, represented by an attorney, counsel of law, have a petition done, and petition with the proper arguments that this citizen is a foreign, citizen, from American citizen, and in this case, in which they want to have an independent autopsy. But an independent autopsy can't be just done as easy as it seems to be. The issue here, like I said before, it's not like you're gonna bring a pathologist, a forensic pathologist from mainland USA and fly it into San Jose, and let's say you're gonna rent a place, like a warehouse, an office, in which you can bring the body, the corpse, the deceased body of Miller, and bring it to another location and do a private autopsy. This is not an issue like that. This is the forensic department is a branch of the Costa Rican government. Costa Rica, like I say, executive branch. And it's not like the city coroner's office, the city, like the way it works in the United States, in which you have the sheriff office and the the examiner's office of the city, and it's run by locally. That's what I'm trying to get into. It's run by the city office, it's run by the county and the state ultimately. But this is the government. This is the forensic department is attached and is run by the national police, the judicial office of investigation. That's which is part of the national government. So it might take a little more than just help from the U.S. embassy. Of course, that will help. U.S. Embassy can have their staff and help them out in this situation, in which they could help for not just for famous people like this one, right? In this family, but they could have help with other American citizens. Just remember that there are over 100,000 U.S. citizens that are expat that call Costa Rica home. Costa Rica is a small country of 4.5 million people, but there are over almost half a million expats who live there, and another million people who are foreign born, meaning that they come to Costa Rica for work. So Costa Rica is one of the most advanced, I would say, most developed countries in Central America, even Latin America. It's been called in the past the Switzerland of Latin America, because they have really good standard of living. Like I said before, they have good quality, high quality medical services, and most of those 4.5, almost 5 million people who comes as tourists, as a visitor, to visit the beautiful beaches of Costa Rica. At least half a million of those people come for what's been called medical tourism. So there is not a lack of high quality medical services. In fact, two of their best hospitals there, CIMA San Jose and Clínica Bíblica, has been rated as just the same by the Joint Commission in the United States, as having the same high standard of quality, just like any other hospital in the mainland USA or Canada. So the issue here is not of lack of proper medical service. The issue here is the backlog in cases to perform autopsies, and of course to more deep and wide through autopsy report to produce a good a final autopsy. In this case, it might take months, and like I say, it might take months, and this poor family, Brett Gardner and his family, is going to be stuck in San Jose for some time, and we wish them well. We wish that this doesn't happen to any other family, of course, and they never thought that a family vacation could have ended this way. But like I say, it could happen anywhere in the world. I mean, and Costa Rica is not except they have a big tourism industry. I mean, one of the main sources of income for this country is tourism, and the health department, the Costa Rican health department, are very busy inspecting all these facilities, restaurants, hotels. I mean, everything you can name, and they're very professional. I mean, this is a high quality, with high quality standards. They do their job, and hopefully this the end situation for this family is going to be of course the suffering is going to this is for life. I mean, you can imagine losing a 14-year-old boy in prime, just starting to live life. I mean, and with no indication that there was any previous previous medical condition. But of course, all this is going to be a wider investigation. So the more deeper the investigation, the more time it's going to take. Sadly, that's the way it's going to go. And like I said before, if there is a petition to be cremated, that could take a little faster. But they want to rule out any situation of infectious disease or anything. Remember, you're taking a body. If there's an infectious disease, you take it back home. So you're gonna have an issue with customs services with border security, even in mainland USA with the CDC now in mainland USA with this agency for any transporting any a dead body from Central America, in which you don't have still there is no death certificate, because to produce a death certificate you need a final autopsy, report, which hasn't been done yet. It's in progress, but like I said, it might need a patient to perform that. And well, hopefully this will go okay for the even if they can bring a professional, like I said, professional medical doctor from mainland USA, they can just do it right away. They could do an independent autopsy, but after the Costa Rican agency has done their work, complete the work, and if they're not happy with this report, this autopsy, they can perform now. They can just fly the body to mainland USA. I mean to South Carolina or New York, and have the best mind in Columbia. From Harvard, a best mind, medical mind, medical forensic services, privately. I mean, money talks. I mean, people they can. The Yankee organization is not short of money. I mean, they could really. And the Gardner family. I mean, they're okay. I mean, so the issue here is not really economics. It's not money. They could do what they need to do, but in the meantime, well, the the situation of this poor family is still in progress, and I wish them well. Hopefully, in good faith, the Costa Rican government helps this family and the U.S. Embassy in San Jose, Costa Rica. So this could happen to any expat. I mean, even a regular guy, regular expat in Costa Rica or anywhere in Central America. So life is fragile. It could happen not just in a five-star hotel or five-star restaurant like this. It could happen in anywhere in a any humble neighborhood, in any street corner where they sell food. And like I said, myself, I thank God. I've never had that issue of food poisoning. Thank God, and pray for this family. Pray, my heart goes to this family, for this amazing dramatic drama that they're living in real life. They never thought that this could happen to them, but it could happen to anybody. So Jesus is the one who protects us. God is with us all the time. God is always good, guys. And my final message for the Gardner family is like, Jesus is our Savior. Jesus, believe in Jesus, and He's our comforter. The Holy Spirit is our comforter in this situation, painful situation. I mean, have your Bible at hand, read the four Gospels, and He is our comforter and our Savior, and you're gonna go through this and survive, guys. Thanks, and thanks for watching, and may God bless you all. Thanks, bye bye, and see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.